Hello friends, it is Wednesday, May 20th. It's our 18th day of Sketching with Jennifer. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. Yesterday we were focused on drawing something from our imagination. I hope you had a chance to do that. If you caught the episode yesterday, you saw that I was working from a big piece of kind of unusual cardboard, unusual cardboard structure. So I had talked about drawing it in my sketchbook, and so that's what I did. I drew it a number of times and came up with a couple of different things. So I wanted to show you that to begin with. So there is the cardboard structure, the open doors like there, the bowl-like shape on the bottom that I thought looked like Picasso's. And then there are two holes in the cardboard there. So this first one, I ended up with something that looked like a little bit, to me, that looks like a little bit Yoda-like from Star Wars, up here with the ears and the eyes and the face. But if I look closer at it, I start to see the Mona Lisa in this mix. So here would be her hair and her eyes, and she's staring off out into the distance. And all this becomes the background of the Mona Lisa. So just I was playing with that. Then I drew it again. And this time I turned it upside down. And this time when I turned it upside down, I saw a rhinoceros. So here is the rhinoceros horn and his face, his eye. And then I thought, what was this? Well, it kind of started reminding me of maybe a shower. Very strange, weird shower, but maybe a rhinoceros in a shower. So playing with my imagination. Then I did it again, and this time I saw a skyscraper and a stage, and these were the stage doors. So I thought of a stage, and then I saw two little Shakespearean guys down here sword fighting or fencing on top of that stage. So I just had a lot of fun playing with that idea. Now I want to go back into that cardboard structure and make it really Picasso-like with some very vibrant colors and some use of black outlining details. But I'm not quite there yet. I don't know where I'll start, and I don't think I have the paints that I want to use. So when I have the right paint and the time, I'm going to make that structure into something kind of fun. I think will be kind of fun. So today's prompt, we're working on number 16. We're still skipping all around. So today we're working on prompt number 16, which is draw freedom. And yesterday I had told you we would be doing that today. So I had encouraged you to create a list of things that meant freedom to you, if you could, and if you had the chance to. So I started listing my ideas of freedom, and so here they are. So this is really just random off the top of my head, but when I think about freedom, that means a lot of different things to many of us. When I think about freedom, I think about being an American, and then I realize that being an American means so many different things to everyone. So you might have experienced a great deal of freedom in your life, and you may not have, being an American or being here or wherever you lived in the world. Maybe you didn't grow up in America, and maybe freedom meant other things. But to me, these are the words that came to mind when I thought of freedom. I thought freedom of choice, freedom of speech. For me, freedom of profession. I was able to choose what profession I went into. And some women in the world don't have that freedom to decide to have a profession or a career or to make any choices about their education. So I'm very fortunate to have made those choices. And so I feel like that's freedom to me. Driving in a car with the windows rolled down and the music playing, that is absolutely freedom to me. Growing up to be what you want to be, to me, that was freedom. Now, we don't grow up to be everything we dreamed life would be, but we can make our dreams come true. We can make choices about where our life will take us. I say freedom to live out loud, freedom to have a good life. I feel like I've had a good life. I have a good life. Freedom means privilege, to own your own land. I also said freedom is to die for. I said freedom of feelings, thoughts, beliefs. Now in my life, those things are held very true to my heart, and they do mean freedom to me. I also believe that freedom is sacrifice. Absolutely. I can't think of freedom without thinking of the word sacrifice. And freedom in difficult days, I wrote. So freedom in these difficult days looks different, and it might not look like freedom at all, but it is. We still have so many freedoms, and especially to think and feel and to make our life what it is, even in these difficult times. I think about Anne Frank, whose family was, locked inside, stuck inside, hiding inside for well over a year, for I believe over 400 days. And birthdays were celebrated in silence, and holidays were celebrated in silence, all for their hope of freedom, that they would survive. So I think about that. So those are some of my ideas of freedom. I wonder what you're thinking about for freedom. So I go back to, for today, I go back to sacrifice. And when I think of freedom, I think of Maya Lin's Vietnam Memorial Wall. It's going to be hard to see there. So I've drawn just a little tiny image of it. I wrote it, or drew it right in my list of freedom. And so if you know Maya Lin, she was, back in 1981, she was a master's student. She was an architecture student. And there was a call in Washington, D.C. for a new monument to be dedicated to all of the soldiers who fell during, or died during, the Vietnam War. And so Maya Lin was 21. It was an anonymous contest, so you'd enter your design. I think you would say a little bit about the design, what it meant, and then a group of panelists, architectures, people from the government. There was a panel of people who would go through and make those final decisions on which architect student would win this design contest, and that would become our national monument for the Vietnam War. And so Maya Lin came up with a very simple design, simple in the sense that it didn't have a lot of detail, but what was so important to this design, she believed, was that every name of every soldier was etched in it from the first day to the very last. I think that may have been part of the design, like to incorporate that, but I'm not sure. And so Maya Lin made that a very big goal. And then she thought, I'm going to keep this design very, very simple. It's going to rise out of the surface near the mall in Washington, D.C. And it would remind her of a scar, the scar of our nation, she referred to it as. And so Maya Lin was, her design was chosen. And so when I think about freedom, I think about this wall and the how it impacts thousands and thousands of people every day. We've even heard a friend say, he was a Vietnam vet. He went there. He was going to go there. He thought he'd never go there. But he went there and he thought, this isn't going to affect me much. You know, I didn't really lose a lot of buddies over there in the war. But I remember him talking about breaking down at that wall, you know, weeping for all those lost soldiers. And so when I think about this wall, I think about how it touches us, how it keeps those soldiers alive in memory, how I think of people going to the wall with their crayons and their paper and, you know, doing an etching over the name of their son or their brother, their cousin, their grandson, whomever it was, and taking that name with them and always remembering it. So this is a place of solemn, it's a place of memorial, and it's a place to remind us that freedom is not free. It comes with a great cost, and it comes to a great cost to our families and our nation and our world. So I started drawing that. I'm going to paint it black, and then I'm going to put in the landscape. So very simple design, and yet when I think about how art impacts me today, I always go back to this young 21-year-old student back in 1981 who won this contest and has forever touched the lives and hearts of our American culture. And so that's my idea of freedom, reminding me that freedom comes at a cost, and there's great sorrow and loss, as well as celebration and good fortune for those of us who get to experience the freedom after it's won and fought. Okay, so I hope that you're working on freedom today. I also want to say these are really difficult times, and we don't always have someone to talk to So if you are feeling isolated, if you are feeling depressed, alone, if you feel like maybe you're just kind of at the end of your rope or you're just having a really bad day, please reach out to me. It's part of the work I do as a therapist. I just love to talk with you, and I want to know that you're okay. Of course, all of us here at Oakwood want to know that everyone is doing okay, and these are really difficult times, and it becomes more difficult as time goes on, and we don't know when the end will be in terms of being able to see our family and friends again. So please reach out to me. My number is 230-4324. We'll find a time to talk or even meet in person with social distancing, of course, and keeping it safe. Or send me an email, jennifer.bethel@oakwoodvillage.net. Again, I'll give you my number, 230-4324, and I would be happy to talk with you anytime about anything that's going on in your life and anything that you might be feeling right now or in the days ahead. Okay? Thank you. I will see you back here tomorrow, and we'll be sketching again. Okay, have a great day.